What's up? Mind my messy bed. So, I am out here in my house trying to, sorry, I'm deleting a message. Trying to finish up some stuff on one of my graduate programs. And I came across an interesting statistic that I was not aware of, and I'm shocked by it. So I had to write this policy memo for this class to finish it up and finish this program in emergency management, and I was going to do it on like the lack of tornado sirens in Houston, and you know, I'm going through all the research and everything, and I'm trying to figure out, you know, what I'm going to write about and get all my data and everything together, so I don't, you know, put the wrong stuff out there for my professors, right? So I am shocked by what I found. I really am. I can't believe some of the information that I came across. So I'm going to share it with you guys. If I can find it here. So the state of Texas has tornado sirens. Obviously Dallas-Fort Worth has a ton of them. Well, I say a ton. I don't know if they have a ton, but I know they have some, right? And I know that some of the other, I wouldn't say major cities, but you know, larger populated cities or towns have tornado sirens, especially up in you know, the Tornado Alley area, right? Surprisingly, Austin does not. They're going away from it, and they're going to more of a mobile digital alert, kind of like what Houston has, right? So here's the thing with Houston. Houston has, or Harris County, say Harris County, okay? They have the largest, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, they have the largest number of tornadoes in the entire state of Texas. I want to say that again. Houston, Harris County, Houston surrounding area, had the largest number of tornadoes from 1950 to 2024, so it's over 80 years, right? Is the largest number of tornadoes of any county in all of Texas. 252 tornadoes. That's more than the Panhandle. That's more than the Red River Valley. That's more than over in West Texas. That's more than, let's see here, Hale County over in the Panhandle at 133. I think that was the second largest. And you had like Tarrant County 110, Dallas County 108, Johnson County 107, Pecos County 97. But Harris County had them beat by a lot. 252 tornadoes in the last 80 some odd years. And the highest rating that Harris County had is a F4 EF4, second highest tornado rating that can be given out. Okay, let's see here. McLennan County had an EF5, Williamson County EF5, Brown County EF5. Then you get like some of these northern counties, Wichita County, Lubbock County, EF5s. And then there's a lot of EF4s, especially over in the Texas Panhandle, northern part of Texas, northeast Texas, western Texas, Pecos, Reeves County. Then you got Harris County. I mean, it makes sense, right? We get all the tornadoes. So, what's the point of this? So, November 22nd, that was last Monday, a week from yesterday, Houston had those two tornadoes, right? One hit Cypress, one hit Klein. One was an EF0, one was EF2, I think. I know the stronger one was EF2. That's the one I was at. I can tell you from experience, boots on the ground in that neighborhood, by the time the digital alert went out through the mobile system, and you get them like an Amber Alert, Silver Alert, something like that. It's the exact same thing. By the time that happened, the tornado was already on the ground. Or it was lowering. I don't remember which, but it was too late. It was too late. Now that tornado hit from the southwest side of Memorial Northwest, and it moved northeast like tornadoes do, and carved the path through that neighborhood. It dropped right before the neighborhood and lifted right after the neighborhood. It was determined to hit that neighborhood. There were no injuries reported, which is awesome. There's obviously no fatalities reported, which is awesome. So, I mean, I guess there's an argument to say, well, that it worked. Did it? Was it because of the alert system that there were no warnings? Or was it because it was a very affluent neighborhood with very strong, well-built $1 million homes, most of which were brick, and people had plenty of place to take shelter. Now, hey Jonathan, what's up, man? Here's the problem with this, okay? And again, I'm telling you, as a storm chaser who was there, I was there, I saw it. That warning system was way too late, way too late. I had a guy who was standing. Anybody from Oklahoma be like, yeah, we do this all the time. Kansas, Missouri, Colorado, Nebraska, all you plains people. Like, yeah, man, we get tornado warnings. That's the first thing we do. We run outside and start looking up. Okay, well, here's the problem with that. A lot of you can probably see the tornado coming. You cannot see the tornado coming in this neighborhood because these homes are you're not going to see the tornado until it's right on top of you. This guy's standing there in his front yard watching up in the clouds. And I pull up to this guy and I'm like, sir, I need you to get inside the house. We have some major weather coming. You know, it's there. It's here. Get inside, please. His response was, oh, yeah, I'm fully aware. Now, I don't know if he had his phone on him or not. I don't know if he knew that there was a tornado there in that neighborhood that was on the ground. I don't know. I didn't stop to ask. I said, okay, and I kept moving. Because at that point, I had lost, didn't have eyes on it at that moment. I didn't even know where that thing was. For my own safety. Here's the problem with having it go on your phones, right? I love that we're becoming technologically advanced, and I love that we're all, like, those phones are just like, they're your lifeline for everything. Apparently, it's your lifeline to stay alive in severe weather, too. What if your phone's dead? What if you don't have your phone on you at that moment? What if you've lost your phone? Then what? So you've got this EF2 tornado, which was one rating away from being classified as a major tornado. Did serious damage. I went and did the damage, so, later on I saw it. Garages completely caved in because these massive trees that fell on it. Homes with holes that looked like somebody shot it with a cannon. Through the 3-story homes, and the whole third story's gone because of a tree that got tossed, or cars smashed, completely caved in. And yes, almost all, if not all, were done by tree damage, but those trees didn't lift by themselves. And I'm telling you right now, some of these trees that I saw, I don't think I got pictures of some of them. Some of these trees were almost as wide as my king-size bed at their widest points. And these things were picked up and they were tossed like hay straws. All right? So there's no amount of construction on these houses that are going to protect you from a 1,000-year-old 20-ton tree being tossed at you at 113 miles an hour. Your cell phone giving you the alert, they're telling you that a tornado is coming when it's not coming. It's already on the ground. It's not enough. It's not. So Houston needs to figure out that digital is not always best. Okay, technologically advanced is not always best. These sirens have worked for decades, and they work for a reason. Dallas Fort Worth still has tornado sirens. They still have outdoor tornado sirens. Why not? I mean, they're the southernmost tip of Tornado Alley. They get a lot of tornadoes. They're right there at the when those troughs come through with the jet stream, they seem to be right there. Why wouldn't they have them? And they do, and they use them. So why are we not using them? Again, Harris County, 252 tornadoes in the last 80 plus years. The highest rating being an EF4. As some of these storms move so fast. So great example of the derecho that hit in May of 2024. It started, I want to say, over. You're going to do your research and you're going to find out I'm wrong about this. That's fine. I want to say it started around Fort Bend County, maybe even came through the Austin area, went through Fort Bend County, then hit Harris County. But by the time it got to Harris County, it was a derecho. Well, it had to have been, because at Fort Bend County, Harris County wouldn't have classified it as that. I think it's got to go over 200 miles. Anyway, so my point being, it was so fast that, again, these mobile alerts, in fact, I don't even recall, and I know there were tornadoes that respond by this, and one of them hit around 290, right around my path home. I don't recall my phone going off at all during that derecho. So this thing put down, I know of at least one tornado, possibly two. The skies became black as night. It literally turned day into night. That is how strong that storm was. That's how full of precipitation that storm was. It completely blocked out the sun. And I don't remember any alert going over my phone that day. So what are we doing? So people like me go out there and put our lives on the line to get warnings out, to try to see with our own two eyes what's going on. And what are we doing? Like, why are we not? And I know, like, some tornado warnings and severe storm warnings, they all went out that day. I'm not saying they didn't. NWS had it covered. But I don't know why we cannot get some sirens. And I looked it up. He said it's because Houston is too large. It's a large area, and it would be really hard for them to hear these sirens. I don't believe that, because Dallas Fort Worth have them, and that's a very large metroplex. If they have it and it works, then Harris County needs to have it, and it needs to work. These alerts on your phone, keep them, but you don't need to get rid of them. But it doesn't need to be the only thing. Again, if your phone's dead, if you forgot to charge it and it dies on you, then what? You have nothing, okay? Unless you're sitting there in your living room watching TV, you have nothing. Local radio stations, guess what, people? No one listens to local radio, or not enough, okay? I'm sure people do, but there's not enough people that listen to local radio anymore to rely on that to be your early warning system. Okay, I get in my car and it's either Apple Music or Sirius XM. Guess what doesn't put out alerts for severe weather? Apple Music and Sirius XM. Maybe if I went to the Weather Channel on Sirius XM, but I don't. I believe it or not, I don't. So we got to do something about this. I really, truly wish Harris County would get on the whole outdoor warning system thing, just because there are way too many variables of things that could go wrong still. It's amazing that nobody got hurt last week. It truly is amazing that no one got hurt. But I promise you this. Had that been an EF4, God forbid an EF5, we would have saw something very different. Okay? there would have been a lot of injuries. There would have been death. Hey, Ashley. Hey. Um, People would have been seriously injured. The only reason that there weren't, and not that the EF2 can't injure people, it absolutely can and has. EF2 will kill you. EF0 will kill you, okay, in the right situation. But had it been a stronger tornado that day, cutting through the heart of that neighborhood, I guarantee you we would have seen a lot of injuries and, unfortunately, probably death. We cannot let technology overrule our common sense. And common sense dictates that you cannot rely on your phones for everything. There needs to be some sort of backup. There needs to be some sort of alert system that people will hear. Because if you don't have your phone on you, or if you don't have it, if you don't have it on, if it doesn't have power, it's a brick, right? You can't receive phone calls, you can't receive text messages, and you can't receive early alerts. And I say early, they're not. That's the biggest problem. It was not. That tornado was lowering or on the ground. Kind of hard to tell when that alert system went out. So if we're going to do it, and if we're going to use that, and if we're not going to do the outdoor warning system, which I just beg Harris County's emergency management to please help get that instituted. Okay, fine. Then it needs to go out when the tornado warning is issued, not when the tornado is spotted. Okay, so Dallas Fort Worth. They like I said, they have the warning system. Okay, there's criteria for when that warning system goes off. The outdoor siren, the tornado siren that everybody thinks of when storms roll through. Okay, the National Weather Service issues a tornado warning for areas in and around the city of Dallas. That's the first one. Second criteria, the National Warning Service issues a severe thunderstorm warning with sustained winds in excess of 70 miles an hour for areas in and around the city of Dallas. Okay, so the sustained winds of 70 miles an hour or more, that's criteria from the National Weather Service, not the city of Dallas. So NWS is what controls that. Trains, storm spotters, chasers, whatever you want to call them, there is a difference. Different story for different day, have reported a tornado in the city of Dallas or in a neighborhood, the neighboring jurisdiction, with the potential to affect the city of Dallas. So if one of us go out there and we see, hey, there's a tornado, call it into the hey, I got a tornado in 5th and Jackson, I don't know streets in Dallas. And I've confirmed it, then they'll put the siren on. Again, but to me, that's way, that's too late. It's already on the ground, right? Reported hail of an inch and a half in diameter or greater. Size may be adjusted for areas or events where a large number of people are outdoors. So again, kind of like the wind, inch and a half in diameter. That's an NWS parameter for severe storm warnings. Okay. Other emergency situations are deemed by the Office of Emergency Management, so it doesn't necessarily have to be just storms. So that is the criteria. Like that's picture perfect. Except for I don't know, the whole I just think anytime a warning is issued, there needs to be some sort of maybe not severe warning, maybe a tornado warning. There probably should be sirens going off. If you got a tornado warning in your area, you need to be sheltered anyway. So you're not waiting for it to touch down. You're not waiting for somebody like me to come by and tell you to get your butt in the house, homeboy in Houston. Because again, in a neighborhood, in a populated area, you're not going to see that thing until it's right over your house, destroying it. And at that point, it's too late. And it may not pick you up, but it's going to pick something up, and you're going to get hit by it. And again, like I said, it's picking up trees and destroying trees that were the width of my king-size bed, toss them at 113 miles an hour. What do you think that's going to do to you? But homeboy wanted to look at his clouds. Anyway, so we need outdoor warning systems still in Houston. They work. They have worked for decades. There's some things that just don't need to be changed, okay? We need to upgrade the alert systems that we have, and we need to increase the time that they're given out. They need to be given out when there's a tornado warning on the ground, not when there's a tornado on the ground. So in case you guys are wondering what the difference is, tornado warning is issued when conditions in the atmosphere are, it is almost inevitable that a tornado could happen. Doesn't mean it will, but could. Okay, they're highly favorable. It goes way beyond a watch. A watch is more like, it could happen, possibly. In this area, we'll, we will monitor the situation. A warning is, get your butt in the house, get your butt in the building, get in a shelter. It's very likely could happen. So, and at that point, those warnings need to go out. And there's got to be something other than just a cell phone. All right, guys, stop with the cell phones. Not everybody's in front of the television in the middle of the day either. So your local news stations they're going to put it out. They should, but that's not going to be. Not everybody's going to see that in the middle of the day in the work week. And again, radios. It's almost non-existent at this point. So that ain't going to work. Anyway, okay, I've been rambling for over 20 minutes. I'm going to end this, but it's just kind of something I wanted to put out there. If you guys made it this far, wow, God bless you. Seriously, I didn't realize it's going this long, but this is important, and hopefully things can change. So be safe, stay weather aware, obviously, especially those of you guys in weather-prone areas. And if you think, because you live in Houston, well, I'm not in Oklahoma. Texas has the most tornadoes of any state in the country. Houston has the most tornadoes of any county, or Harris County has the most tornadoes of any county, and the state that has the most tornadoes of any state in the country. Take care.